Hope you guys have been enjoying some of the recipes we've been cooking up so far. So got my good cameraman here today, which is good. So in the past, I apologize if you didn't like some of the video, but today should be a little better with a tripod. So once again, it's pretty important to understand that when we're eating meat, that the amino acids that are in muscle meat are not the same as they are in gelatin and connective tissue. Okay, so that's important. Once again, as we age, we don't want inflammation. And the more expensive cuts of meats, like filet mignon, those are higher in the pro-inflammatory amino acids. So the less cuts are not as much. And today we have some grass-fed, southern grass-fed beef, which is great. So it's not going to be as high as some of the other cuts of meat. So we're still going to take some gelatin, take our Great Lake gelatin protein, and actually mix this in to make the meatballs more balanced so we don't have that anti-inflammatory effect. So hopefully you guys will enjoy what we're going to do here today, and make a homemade sauce as well. So we're going to do not only meatballs, we're going to do the sauce. So we'll be right back at you in a second. Okay, we're back. So we're going to start making the tomato sauce. So it's pretty simple, guys. The recipe actually does call for about 2 of these 28-ounce cans, but if you're making about 2 pounds of meatballs, I don't really think you need to use quite that much. So we're just going to use 1. This is just some organic diced tomatoes. So you get your big pot like this. We're just going to pour this in here. Okay. That's done. Also, 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste. So we're going to throw this in there as well. Got to use a spoon for this because this stuff's pretty thick. And basically, this is a pretty simple sauce. All we're going to do here is just kind of let it simmer for about 20-25 minutes, and that's it. We're going to add some more ingredients, which we have chopped up right there. I took some fresh garlic, 2 garlic cloves. You can use as much as you want, and also some fresh parsley. Okay, that's going to go in there as well. So that's just going to get mixed in here with all the other ingredients. So we are making our own sauce. And the cool thing too is that the recipe actually calls for gelatin. So we're actually adding more of the anti-inflammatory protein into the actual sauce, which is fantastic. So once again, for the recipe, it has 2 cans, 28-ounce cans. We're using 1. So instead of using 7 tablespoons, I am going to use just about a little over 3. Okay. So I'm doing pretty much about half. Got my gelatin, got my little measuring spoon here, so do about 3 of these. And also, it's a good idea to make sure you have your spoon handy so you can kind of incorporate it pretty quickly. So there's 1, 2, 3, and half of another. There we go. So that's that. Also, it calls for some oregano. Now, obviously, the oregano and some basil. If you have fresh oregano and you have fresh basil, that's fantastic. So I don't, so not today. So I do have my little Simply Organic basil here. This is a good brand to use, and just be careful with a lot of the spices and things that try to use the organic ones. Because a lot of them, I don't think the FDA has to label that they've been irradiated, which is pretty much something that you don't want done to your spices. Okay, so it's kind of like they basically just flash a certain kind of level of radiation to kind of kill any bacteria, but that's not really necessary if you have good quality food. So once again, kind of stick to the organic. So if it's asking for 3 fresh basil leaves, I'm just going to put whatever I think is the taste for myself. That's pretty good. Once again, we have some oregano as well. That's for 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to put my oregano in here. Not fully a tablespoon, because once again, I didn't make as much sauce. So that's, and then also the last thing is some red wine. Now, this is good. So I just have some dry sherry here. So 1/3 of a cup. It's up to you. That's what you want to use. A little more, a little bit less. Here we go. So we're pretty much good with that. Now I'm just going to kind of stir everything up and turn the heat up a little bit here. And everything, I mean, if you can smell it now. It already smells good, and it's not even nothing is really even released yet. So all the gelatin will dissolve. I mean, it pretty much already has. If Nelson wants to get a little closer here, he can kind of peek in here. He can move his station. So a lot of good color, garlic, all the good stuff there. So believe me, guys, it smells really, really, really good. So we're just going to let that kind of simmer. So we turn the heat up there. So that's pretty much the sauce. So that keeps it pretty simple in that regard. What else? Did I miss anything? Nope. Got the wine, got the herbs, and now we're going to move on to the meatballs. So we'll be right back with you again.